I am back from 12 weeks of parental leave, and you might recall, if you've been following this bonus content, that months ago, before the leave, Francesca and I previewed, for me, what I hoped to get done during this extended period of parental leave, which I'm lucky enough to have, because obviously so many people in America don't have leave like this. And Francesca talked about the experience of when she first had Karina. Well, now it's over. I wanted to give a little bit of an update. Francesca is here once again. Thank you, Francesca, for being here.
Hi, no problem. Is it actually over, or because sometimes you need more?
Can I take more?
I mean, it's not paid, but yeah.
Yeah, if it's
up to you. Sometimes it can be like, I think it's both. Like you're gonna hit the ground running, although you are going to New York. But I think that can be really tough when it's like you start in with all the hours that you had before you left. Just at once.
True. Yeah, well, thankfully my first week is going to be less than half of an actual week, but
right.
And I am shooting from home for the first couple weeks, or at least that was the plan. But now the internet seems to be having problems, so we'll see what happens. But I am back, and so there's going to be sort of a thread that works through this. I'm going to go through the 5 things that I previewed wanting to spend the time on, which is, man, I was a big dumb donkey.
Yeah,
I blame you, honestly.
No,
I do.
I warned you, dude. I super warned you.
You said one thing that totally changed my thoughts about how this would go.
Oh no.
You said, baby sleep a lot, so maybe you could write another novel. And I all of a sudden thought, oh yeah, I guess babies do sleep a lot. So I guess there would be a lot of time, and we'll both be on leave. So I'll probably be able to fit in all sorts of things. And that it could not be further from the truth. So I blame you.
Dude, nuh-uh. I probably said that as a joke. I was like a challenge. Like, maybe you could write another novel.
I watched the video that we put out a few months back, and I remember saying something like, everybody always says that there's no time to do what you need to do, to even cook. And I thought, how is that possible? It's 24 hours in a day. There's 2 of you. How is there not time? And I can't explain it any better now than before, except to say that there isn't. It just isn't. I don't know why it takes, even like if your baby is lucky enough, like you're lucky enough that your baby does sleep, which mine during the day did not. It takes so long to put the baby to sleep.
Yep.
And I just want to say one thing that thankfully has now gotten better. This is, hopefully we're past this.
Yeah, everything's a knock on wood. I would always be afraid to like celebrate any change that was good, because I'd be like, next shoe's gonna drop.
We have a camera which points at the bassinet, and so we always have an iPad out in the living room so we can watch her while she sleeps. We're always afraid to say, hey, she's really sleeping, because she seems to know.
Yes.
Anyway. I am a person who deeply cares about things being rational and logical, things making sense. And babies don't at all, but perhaps the way that they make the least sense is when it comes to sleep. And I didn't understand this. Maybe most people do, but maybe you watching this, you haven't had a kid. Maybe this is useful for you to know. When an adult gets tired, they get sleepy and they go to sleep. And so you start to think that that's how humans work, but not all humans. Babies get tired, but they will not go to sleep. You have to force them to go to sleep. And if you don't do it at the right time, they will get so mad at you that they won't sleep. Even if they fall asleep, they'll wake right back up, and they'll just get angry and tired and frustrated, worse and worse. The first night, we were calling doulas in the middle of the night for advice because she would not go to sleep. It's crazy.
Oh my God. I don't know what part you want me to react to other than all of it, but I think it's really funny. Newborn sleep is just so hilarious, because the other thing they do is they make so much noise, and usually you're in the same room with a super brand newborn, and they're like, yeah, all these grunts, and you're like, are they awake? Are they asleep? And then they shoot their legs like straight up in the air, like swing, and you're like, what's going on? But yeah, it is. The whole sleep journey was wild to me, and very like the amount of nap math, which I may say next week too, but the nap math. Like, I'm not good at math at all. And like nap, it's just perpetually that woman with like the different equations rolling past her head. Like that's what like trying to get a baby to sleep at all is like. And like, honestly, adults don't even go to sleep when they're tired. We have anxiety. So what are babies like? Like, this is my thing. Is this reincarnation where they're like, no, I don't want to be back here. Earth sucks. No. I forgot if we could swear. In our bonuses.
You bit it off. The weird thing is like the one way that they will fall asleep, and I miss this because my baby doesn't really do this. She did this sort of yesterday, but while you're feeding them, they will start to fall asleep.
Yes.
And then once you're done feeding them and you burp them, they'll refuse to go to sleep. That's how it works. But
so annoying.
She used to like fall asleep, like literally her eyes would roll back in her head, and it was one of my favorite things that I've ever seen, and I miss that she doesn't do that anymore. But anyway, the baby sleep stuff is difficult. We're in a much better place than we were. But there was weeks and weeks where the only way she would sleep during the day is if I held her in a carrier and I walked around my neighborhood. I literally would just walk loops around the neighborhood, all day long.
Steps in.
Yeah. Anyway, so my number 5 was I wanted to get some home improvement things that I needed to do done. No. What? Home improvement? There's no time to go to Home Depot. What do you mean home improvement? You're gonna use tools outside of the house? No, none of that happened. That was a stupid thing that I thought. It didn't happen. Really fast. Number 4 was, and this one I failed on, but I'm glad. It was, I thought that I would slowly reintegrate work, like maybe doing like a debate coverage. There were a couple times where I was very close to doing a pre-port, like randomly. What is this next to my head? Are you seeing this?
Yeah, I just saw that. Whoa.
How did that happen? That was weird. Oh, is it like when I did this? No, anyway. Okay, I'm hallucinating. But anyway, I didn't do that. I didn't, some people say that they start to feel antsy about going back to work. I did not experience that. And I had no desire to go back any sooner than I had to. But one of the reasons I was able to not feel that is because I had people like you filling in. So thank you for helping me fail on number 4. I do appreciate that.
No, I'm glad you didn't do work. I think it's good. Especially because you've always like doing your job, even just like a fraction of the amount that you do your job makes you realize how tiresome the news cycle is. And we would often like logging on, you're like, I'm just tired of the news. And so like that break and like not feeling any remorse or interest to like get back into it. It's good. It's very good, even though there were new and different problems, but like exciting and interesting ones and like new challenges. You seem like you feel like you've operated with little sleep and been fine with it. Cause like there's not a lot of sleep in the beginning.
Yeah, I didn't mind as much. I mean, remember, I was waking up at 5 o'clock anyway.
Right, generally,
so I always had less sleep. So even like we several weeks ago got to the point where she was sleeping through the night. She would wake up at 5 or 6 or something.
Yeah.
And that was easy. But even when we were waking up in the middle of the night multiple times, like I'd be a little bit out of it, but I would always like, I'd eat something to help wake me up or like stick my face in front of a fan. I didn't really mind it because the wake ups weren't that long. The difficult part was the, relentless bouncing the baby to get them to go to sleep. Like I really thought that I was doing serious damage to my body, holding and rocking and bouncing the baby.
You get so much stronger too. I mean, I'm like, you're definitely stronger than me, but like I'm like, oh, I'm like weak but strong. Like I'm like weak but resilient. I haven't exercised in a year, but I'm like strong. I don't know. But
you do a lot of picking up and stuff.
Oh yeah. I couldn't get back to sleep. That's my thing. It's like I can wake up. I just can't fall back to sleep. So if I'm getting up at 3, like I'll just be up.
She's like that. Well, you probably had what Arlene, my wife, has, which is she's just like, she's a lighter sleeper, but also she's just got so much anxiety about the baby waking up or being awake that like every little noise wakes her up. That does not happen to me. No, I would sleep through everything but a scream. I like if she's like rocking the baby or something and I'm like reclining on the bed, I'll fall asleep for 5 minutes like that. Like I fall asleep very readily. So thankfully that was not one of the difficult parts. But speaking of working out, I was going to commit to more regular working out. No, I think I worked out like 4 times the whole time. There is no there's no 45 minutes. I have a gym that I made at my house and there was no time. This isn't like going to the gym. And there's just no time to go anywhere because the baby sleeps for 21 minutes and then she's up. And the first 10 minutes of her sleep, you're watching to see if she's going to wake up. So that didn't happen. And I'd spent probably like the 3 or 4 weeks before the birth, I had been sugar-free. That fell apart almost instantly once the baby was born.
Oh yeah.
Because I was like making muffins and stuff, so we'd always have something to eat. And I'm in far worse shape than I was before the baby was born.
You made muffins? That's so cute.
I made 100 muffins.
Oh my God.
During this period.
Sorry I didn't take any the last time you offered them to me. And I was like, I should have had them. They look special. I guess they're just regular old John muffins now.
Everyday muffins.
That is crazy to me. And it's really hard when you're nursing and you're pumping because you have to eat all the time. And so I'd want to exercise, but as soon as she'd go down for her first nap, I'd be like, now I have to scarf a bunch of breakfast, maybe take a shower, then pump, or you know what I mean? Because I would pump an extra, you have to pump in the middle of the night. So I'd add an extra pump in the morning. It was bad. It's all bad. Yeah. It's easy to become a martyr when you're a parent. And so then by the time I had eaten and done all the chores and maybe straightened or cleaned or whatever, you have no time left. The baby's waking back up. So it's and the laundry you do, oh my God, so much laundry because they shit.
Yeah, the laundry hasn't really been a big issue. We go through a lot of muslin cloths. The spit up is real. You get to the point where
not a lot of blowouts.
We've had 2 maybe.
Oh,
well, the first time my mom held her, she peed, I guess, after she'd already pooped, and that proved to overcome the diaper.
Yeah.
But that's only happened a couple times. We had a couple times where she would pee or poop while she was being changed, but that was pretty rare too.
Yeah.
So no, the laundry, we go through the muslin cloths. Every shirt that I own has milk on the shoulder.
Yes.
I smell like milk all day long.
Sure.
And no, the laundry hasn't really been a problem. Not really.
Oh, that's good. You're the bowels under control.
Well, and also thankfully we got a lot of outfits from you. So thank you for that. She's got a lot of really cute outfits.
Not enough. You're getting there. This is one of those families we don't want any more. And I'm like, but take it. There's so many
My wife
cute
has
things.
Anxiety. But also the sad thing about when they're so little is you'll have an adorable outfit. And if you don't put them in that outfit, it will be too late. They'll outgrow it. And you'll never see them in the outfit. People gave me a couple of dragon onesies that she literally could never wear because they were too, she was we had a small baby and she was still too big for this. I don't know how sizing works. Anyway, number 2 was what started this list, which was to write a novel. Even if I had time, the mental state to be creative and create prose doesn't exist. But what I did do, because I was the person who's always walking the dogs. And also I was the person who was walking the baby a lot of time. Oh, my wife walked the baby quite a bit too. Is I didn't have the mental wherewithal to write, and I'm not at a computer, so I can't really. But what I was able to do was do a lot of brainstorming and world building. So that was helpful. I did a ton of that in my downtime, but I don't think I wrote 2 sentences of original prose. So I'm very much behind on that on my Patreon, unfortunately.
A lot of people listen to podcasts. Matt did that a lot, my husband, and a lot of people will watch some, streaming. I just zoned between nursing and I just zoned. I wouldn't do TV because I didn't want to wake her up. I'm a little bit less now, but I really perfected the art of zoning and kind of meditating, sometimes thinking, but really just trying to clear my head. And it was nice. And I do feel they say that this time goes so quickly. So why not just sit there and zone? Every time I wanted to think of something I should write something. I should think of a joke right now. I just kind of I just cleared my head.
It's what you needed.
Yeah, it's so stimulating anyway that when you find yourself kind of with some mental space, you don't want to clutter it with something else. You know what I'm saying?
I'm the exact opposite.
Okay.
If I am not working on a project or an idea or developing something in my mind, I go crazy. I need like walking around and like either by audio or typing on my phone, like that is the bare minimum of the creative outlet that I need. I start to go crazy if I'm not doing something like that. There was a good amount of streaming. There was a lot of watching TV with the sound off and captions.
Yes.
The Changeling, that show on Apple, we almost entirely watched with no sound.
Oh my God.
There's a horror movie that came out that doesn't have any dialogue. We watched that without any sound, so that actually worked out.
That's the other thing. If you're a new parent, you're gonna be a parent. I'm thinking like getting Bluetooth headphones for your TV is that can be shared. I'm sure that exists.
We did the AirPods together. Yeah.
Yes, we did AirPods together all the time, one in one and one the other. And it's just like, and you know what the reality is they get older, and this is like the actual truth. They can't hear you. They're not waking up because they hear anything. And you could still tell me that now, and I'd be like, it doesn't matter. What? They can't hear you.
I have tried to convince my wife that the baby can't hear any of this stuff.
I know.
She thinks the baby has elven ears or something.
I know.
You need to understand, we'll be in the kitchen. It is around a corner, down a hallway, a small hallway, a small house, but around the corner, a door, the office, which has a sound machine in it, a barn door, then the room, which has multiple sound machines in it, and the baby. And she'll be like, don't open those chips. She can't hear it. She can't hear it. But don't tell my wife I said that.
No, they can't hear you, and that's the reality of it. And trust me when I say that I still am the same way. I hate all those creaks in our doors. I hate them. But honestly,
I olive oiled all of our doors.
I olive oil them too, but then they expand and they squeak, and I don't know what to do. I tried tightening the screws on the hinges. Nothing's really working. It's just when it's like old wood and
our floors creak. I've learned all of the creak spots.
Totally, creak spots.
Yeah. That I worry that could wake her up, but I'll be up and like a dog will be barking outside the window. That doesn't even wake her up. We had an electrician. They were hammering. It didn't wake her up. And yet my wife still thinks a whisper.
She just doesn't want you to eat chips. I think that's what it is.
It's a good call on her part, actually. But anyway, this is the final one that I thought I would do. This is more of a jokey one, was turn this baby into content. And I didn't mean that in terms of actually making videos or whatever. That's not the sort of person I am. But I am glad that I took a lot of photos. I took a lot of videos, like trying to record. When we finally got to the point where she started to like make sounds, like sort of mirror us and make sounds, trying to catch that. I have a video that I recorded of her laughing that I watched so many times.
I want to see that.
And I love taking pictures of her. She's so stinking cute. And I've tried not to be the person who posts a lot of photos. I've wanted to. I've posted a couple, but anyway, that's
posting is all we have. That's I have like a private app for like, friends and family, and I post all the time there because it's the only thing that makes like how tough it is to be a parent in the early months. I'm just like, I just want to post and I want your heart and I want you to say she's cute and that's it. Okay, bye. And it works and it's like great. Now I feel good and sane. Yeah, but I love those. What's your favorite little like gesture that she does? Maybe now or what you could remember that was
right now. It's the position I feed her in is like she's like kind of cradled.
Yeah.
And I feed her and she will hold on to the pinky that's under the bottle. She'll hold on to like the pinky as she's feeding.
So cute.
It's very cute. But when I hold her on my chest and she becomes what I call a tree frog, when she just scrunches up.
Yes.
That's very cute. Her laughs are adorable.
She gave me a smile when I met her. She gave me like a side.
She does a lot of like, she gets like bashful like that. God, it's very cute. And she has like kind of like a crooked smile she does.
She
does.
What about Karina? There was like well, when she was really, really little, my favorite thing was when she tried to latch on. I'm sorry, this is still about nursing, but when they try to latch when they're really young, they go like, ah.
Yeah, they go, and it's like,
and she would just be like this, and she has to like find the nipple and like, and it's just so funny that it's like a crazy person.
Yeah, they seem insane. I mean, I experienced that with a bottler, but she'll all of a sudden go crazy. And I'm like, you need to calm down. This is too much right now. You really like milk. Jeez. But anyway.
The rooting, that's what they call it. That's rooting.
Rooting, yeah.
I know. I'm gonna be summoned because my husband's sick and the baby's sick and I didn't put her in daycare and he's mad at me, so.
Well, anyway, we're gonna do some more lists. I think maybe we'll do the surprises about parenting next week. I'm gonna try not to have it be the only thing that I talk about on the show, but it's a thing now. It does change you. And so glad to be able to talk about this with you.
Absolutely. Yeah. And if you don't like parent content, screw you. You're heartless.
Go away. Anyway, okay. Thank you everyone for being here. Look forward to top 10s in the future, and we will see you soon.